Hi friends, in this lecture we will study how to create this beautiful HR analytics dashboard. Now this dashboard will help the company get some real insightful information about its employees. So here you can see we have some information like total number of employees in the company, total number of employees who have attrited means left the company, what is the attrition rate, how many employees are existing right now in the company, what is the average age of the employees, department-wise attrition, number of employees age-wise. Then there is a heat map showing the job satisfaction rating. Where the rating is low, it is shown in lighter color. Where the rating is good or higher, it is shown in darker color. This is also called as a heat map in Power BI terminology. Then we have sum of attrition count by education field. And finally, we also have the attrition rate by gender for different age groups. Also on the top you have slicers wherein you can filter the data based on the educational qualification. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and see how to create this dashboard in Power BI. So for that, I click on File and I select New. Now remember, for creating this dashboard, you will require some data in the background, and the link for downloading that data I have provided in the description of this video. So I would urge you to download that file, make a folder on your computer or your desktop and save that file over there. So I'm beginning with the absolutely new Power BI, so I click on this close button. Now the data which I have provided to you is in Excel format, so I click on Get Data and I want it from Excel workbook, and then it is asking me to specify the location where my data is present. So it's over here. I select the data, the name of the file is HR data, and I select Open. So depending on the number of rows in the file, it will take some time to get the data over here. After getting the data, it will show me how many sheets are present in the file. So it is saying that there are 2 sheets present in the file and you want to pick up the data from which sheet. So I want to pick up the data from this sheet. So it will give me a small preview of the data and I will select Load. Now that data will get loaded into my Power BI. It will take a small amount of time depending on the number of rows. So you can see it told me that 1471 rows were loaded into your Power BI. However, you cannot see any of those rows over here. The reason being that we are right now in the report view. If you click on the data view, this is where you can see all your data. Now, as new users of Power BI, I would urge you that whenever you import data into your Power BI, spend some time in looking into the contents of the data and try to understand the contents. So first thing which we come to know after looking in this data is that Excel has not taken my column headings and it has given the column headings of its own, and it has treated my column heading as a row. So I want to avoid that. So I want to make that first row as my column heading. So for doing that, I have to click on Home. And in Home, you have this Transform Data. So I click on transform data, and this will take me into the Power Query editor. Now you can see in the Power Query editor that my first row is containing my column headings. So to convert this first row as column headings, in the Home tab, you will see there is an option use first row as headers. So I select that, and automatically my first row becomes the header. Now my data looks meaningful. That is, you have the first column as attrition, yes or no, business travel, age band, attrition label, department, and so on. So I would urge you to take a look into this entire data by scrolling to the right and trying to read all the column headings. Now once you have taken a look into your data, to come back into your Power BI, out of this Power Query editor, you have to just click on Close and Apply. Now we are back into your data view. Now I want to come back to the report view, so I'll click on the report view, and this is where I will design my dashboard. So you can see this dotted borders around, that is called as the canvas in which you are going to create your dashboard. So the canvas, you can color it with any color of your choice, or you can even put an image over there. In this example, I am using an image. If you want, you can choose a color of your choice. To get an image, first ensure that your canvas is selected. Then in the visualizations, click on Format Your Report Page. Now over here, you have canvas background. So I click on this canvas background, and there it asks me to select a color. So if you want, you can select a color. If you want, we can select an image. In my case, I am selecting an image which I have downloaded from the internet. You can also download it by just going in Google and typing purple background. Now the image has come, but it is not visible because the transparency is 100%. So I'll make the transparency to 0 and the image would be visible. If due to any reasons you do not want to apply an image, then you can select the color, purple color or any color of your choice, and apply it to the canvas background. Now the first measure which I want to create over here is the overall employees. So for that, we'll click on this option, add data to your visions. And over here, you will see that there is one visual available called as card. So I click on this card vision, and one card comes over here. I'll bring this within my dashboard. For the moment, I'll collapse the filter as I do not need it at the moment. Now it is asking me what contents you want to show in this. Now over here, if you see in the data, you can see your table name, HR data. I can click on this arrow and you can see the contents of this. So there is one field called as employee count. So I select this employee count and drag it and bring it over here. So you will get the employee count over here. Okay. Now, in your case, you might get some heading on the top. If you want to get rid of that heading on the top, you have to click on Format Your Visual. And in the visual, like here you are seeing the sum of employee count. If I don't want this, then this category label is there. I will turn it off. So the category label will go away. And over here, I want my own heading, which is overall employees. So I click on this call out value. So here it asks me for the font, etc. I want to enter the value, so I'll click on general. In general, you have this title. I will turn it on, and in this title I will type overall employees. So you'll see that you get that heading over here. Then you can select your font. So I select a font called as Segoi UI Semi Bold, and I select center align for that font. Same way this values is there, I can format that also. Same way I can change the color of this heading also. Now for this visual, I want to change the background. So I'll click on the visual, and you have this call out value. And in the call out value, you can give the color for the font. You can display the spacing. So here you have this properties. So in properties, you have size, position, padding, advanced options. Okay. You have title, subtitle, and you have effects. So in this effects, you have this background color. So I select the background color as this, and I increase the transparency to 15%. And I want to change the text color to white. So this title is there. I will change the title to white. And same way for the visual also. I want to go over here, and in this call out value, the color of the visual also I want to change it to white. I want to make this small like this, so that I can accommodate other measures as well. The only thing which I want to do now is I want to give rounded corners. So I select the measure. I click on format visual. I click on general. I select effects. And here you have visual border. I turn it on. And for the rounded percentage, I give something like 15. And the color for the border, let's give it a light yellow, or let's give it a light gray. So general, effects, and visual border, and the color for the visual border will select light gray. So this is overall employees. Our first measure is created. Congrats. Now we have to create the second measure. And the second measure is attrition count. So what we'll best do is, we'll first Control C, copy this measure, and Control V, paste this measure. So we have pasted that measure here. Now first we want to change this heading to the heading as attrition count. So we come over here, and in order to change the heading, first ensure that this is selected. Then click on format your visual, click on general, click on title, and instead of overall employees, type attrition count. Now I want to specify the value over here. So I click on visual, and in visual I click over here. So here you can see there is sum of employee count. I don't want that. I want the attrition count. Now here you can see in your data there is one field called as attrition, but it is a text field. So what is that field, how it looks, and how we can get that attrition count? To understand that, we click on data view. So here you can see you have one field called as attrition, in which the values are yes or no. When the person is attrited, means left the company, it is yes. When he is within the company and he is not attrited, it is no. So I want to make one field called as attrition count, a new field, and whenever it is yes, I want to put the value as 1, and wherever it is no, I want to put the value as 0. So in order to do this, we have to click again on transform data, and in transform data you have to click on add a column, because we want to add a column, and in that I will select conditional column. In conditional column, it is asking me a name for the column, so I type attrition count as the name for the column, and then it is asking me the if condition. So I'll say if attrition equals to yes, then the output will be 1, otherwise else it should be 0. Then I would click on OK. So it will create one column called as attrition count, and wherever the value is yes, it is making it as 1. Wherever the value is no, it is making it as 0. So ensure that over here for the attrition count, you should see this ABC123 indicating that it is a numeric field. If it is not showing you as a numeric field, then you will have to again go into transform, and you will have to convert this into a numeric field. So here you have this data type, and in the data type you will have to select whole number. That will ensure that this field becomes a numeric field, and it should show you as 1, 2, 3 and not ABC, means it is now treating this as a numeric field. After that, click on home and click on close and apply. Now come back to your dashboard or the report view, and instead of this sum of employees, I'll drag this attrition count over here. So you get the attrition count. Let us check whether these two figures are matching with the original data. So here you can see 1470 and 237, and we are also getting the same values, overall employees and the attrition count. So two controls are ready. Let us see what is the third control. Now the third control is attrition rate. So attrition rate is nothing but attrition count divided by overall employees. So how to do that? So first we'll come into our sheet, into our dashboard. We'll select this measure, Control C copy, Control V paste, and bring it over here. I want to give it a heading like attrition rate. So I'll come here, I'll click on this measure, I'll click on format vision, I'll click on general, and in this title, I will give the title as attrition rate. Now I want the attrition rate should be shown over here. If you click over here, build visual, you will see it is still showing you employee count. And there is no field like attrition rate. So what you have to do, you have to right click on HR data over here and you have to create new measure. So this will help you create a DAX formula. So it is asking me a name for the measure. So I will give the measure the name as attrition rate. So it is asking me what is the attrition rate and what is the formula you want to give. So I will say sum of, and I want to give attrition count, close bracket, divided by sum of employee numbers, so employee count, close bracket, and then I'll hit enter. So it will create one new field called as attrition rate. You can see this calculator like symbol indicating that it is a DAX formula. I'll click on that attrition rate and bring it over here. Now if you want to see this as a percentage, you click on this drop down over here and you have this show value as, so you get this percentage of grand total. Okay, so you can get it this way, or you can say no calculation for the field. You also on the top here you can see in this you have this format, and in format you have display the values as a percentage. So slightly make this measure bigger. So here you can see 16.12 has come. I make both these measures also of the same size. So now our third measure is also ready. That is the attrition rate. Now we want the next, that is active employees. Again, there will be a formula, a DAX formula, and that will be overall employees minus attrition count is equal to active employees. So we'll come back over here. We'll copy this, Control C, and we'll say Control V. We bring this over here and we'll click over here on Format Visual, click on General, and instead of overall employees as the title, I would type active employees. And now I want to change this. So if you click on Bind Visual, it is showing sum of employee count. I don't want that. So I want to construct a DAX formula. So I will right click on HR data and I will select new measure. So in the new measure, I will give the measure the name like active employees and I give a formula is equal to sum of employee count, close bracket, minus sum of attrition count, close bracket, enter. So you will see that you get one active employee field with a calculator, means it's a DAX field. Bring it over here and you get the active employee count. Let us check with the original data. So it is correct. Finally, we want the average of the age. Okay. So Again, we come back into our dashboard. We select overall employees, Control C copy, Control V paste, and we bring this over here. You can see it is moving outside. So I'll press Shift, select all of them and move it with the help of my arrow keys inside. Now I want to change this to average age. The heading, I want to change it to average age. So I come over here, I select this measure, I click on Format Your Vision, I click on General, Title, and I give the heading as average age. Then I click on Build Visual, and instead of sum employee count, you can see you get one age field. I drag that age field over here. But I don't want the sum of the age, I want the average of the age. So I click on this drop down over here and I select average. So I get the average age and I don't want this 2 digits. So I will click on Format Your Vision. Let us see call out value. It is showing me as 45 and value of decimal places. So I'll make it to 0. Okay. Now here you can see I got the average age as 37. Let us see the average age is correct. So congratulations, your first 5 visuals are ready. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We have created these 5 visuals: overall employees, attrition count, attrition rate, active employees and average age. Now remember, we need some spacing on the top because we want to write this heading and include these slicers. So we'll drag this a bit down at the bottom. So we'll select all of them by keeping the Shift key pressed, and using my down arrow key, I'll drag it a bit down so that I get space to accommodate the heading on the top. Now over here, I want another visual, that is department wise attrition. So here you can see I have included a pie chart, and in that pie chart it is showing me department and sum of the attrition count. So let us see how it is doing that, how we have to get this pie chart into our Power BI. So again I come back into my sheet and click on this pie chart. So you get a pie chart. We drag it to this extent, and remember what we want. We want department wise attrition. So I want department and sum of attrition count. So I click on department and bring it on legends. So you get this department over here, and you have this attrition count. You click it over here. So you have sum of attrition count. Now I want to change this heading, and I want the heading as department wise attrition. So I come over here, I select my measure, I click over here, I click on general, I click on title, and I give the title as department wise attrition. Then I want to center align it. So I scroll down and here I center align it. Then I want to give it a background color. So I select this and I give this background color. Then I want to change the text color to white. So the text color is changed to white. Now for this, I want to change this visual color also. So I click on the vision and I want to change this background of the visual also, this background. So again, I click over here in general. You have this effects. In effects, you have this background. So I select this background and I select the transparency to 15%. Okay. Then the header icons, I want the color of the icons as white. Okay. Then then for the effects, we want visual border to be on, and I want the visual color of the visual border to be light gray, and I want the thickness of 15 as a rounded corner for the visual border. Okay. And now the inner text, I want to make this as white. So the legends are there, the text is there for the legend. I want to change the color as white for the legend. Then the slices are there, that is correct. Then the detail is there. The detail values are there. I want that color also to be white. So the detail values are also visible over here. So let us see. Okay. So you get department wise attrition. So I'll just maximize this. So this gives us some pretty good amount of details. Like at a glance, you can come to know that there is maximum attrition happening in R&D, then in sales, and the least is in HR. So this was our next visual. Now let us see how to create the frequency chart here. So I select the stack column chart. I bring it over here. Now it is asking me what data you want on x-axis. So on the x-axis, I will select age band. Then on the y-axis, what you want? Employee count. So it shows me that in every category, how many employees are there, like 25 to 34, 554 employees, 35 to 44, 505 employees, and so on. Now I also want to see a breakup of male and female. So I select gender and I bring it over here. So I get a gender wise description also. So we have got the data. Now we want to sort it. If you see the sorting is not correct, we want first under 25, then 25 to 34, then 35 to 44, then 45 to 54, and then over 55. So we have to format this first. So let us see what heading will give. Number of employees by age group. So we come here and we select format visual, general, title, and we change this title to number of employees by age group. After that, I want to center align it. So I select center align. I want to change the background color. So I select the background color. I want to change the text color. So I select change the text color. Now I want to change the background of this visual. So I select the visual And for the visual, again I click on general, and you have effects. In this effects you have background color. I select this background and I change the transparency to 15 and I close this. Now I want the border to be light gray and rounded corners. So I select this, again select this, again general, again effects, again visual border on, come here, change the color of the visual border to light gray and rounded corners to 15, and it is done. Now I want to change this headings to white color and the legend also to white color. So select here, and here you have x-axis. This is the x-axis. So x-axis I want the color to be white. So the x-axis color will be turned to white for the values. And again for the title for the x-axis also I want the color as white. So the title is also changed to white. Same way for the y-axis, I want that the values should be shown in white color, and the title for y-axis should also be shown in white color. Then the legends are there. So I select the legend, and the legend color also for the text for the legend should be shown in white. Okay, so that is done. Now let us see how to sort this data in the ascending order. In order to sort the data into the ascending order, we'll go into the data view. In the data view, you have this age band, and see that it is a text field. So what we do, we select this text field and we'll insert one more, we'll create a new field called as sort age. So for this, we'll go into transform data. After going into transform data, you can see this age band is a character field. So we go into add column and select conditional column. Now in this conditional column, it is asking me a name for the column. So it is sort age. This is the name for the column. Then what is the if condition? So if the age band equals to under 25, then I want the output should be 1. Add clause. If the age band, so again, equals to 25 to 34, then it should be equal to 2. Again, if the age band equals to 35 to 44, then it should be 3. And one more age category we have, 45 to 54. So we'll say add clause age band 45 to 54 equals to 4. Otherwise, it will be 5. Then we will click on OK. You will see that one field gets created called as sort age. But if you watch, you will see that it is in the character format. So you have to convert this into the numeric field. So to go into transform, select data type and select whole number. So now it is made into numeric field. Again click on home close and apply. Now, after you come back to your field and the changes are reflected in your data, come back to your dashboard. In the dashboard, ensure that your visual is selected. Then in that, select CF age band. Then in that, you select sort this field by what. So we created a new field called as sort age. So you say sort the CF age band by sort age. Now over here, you will see that if you click over here, you have this sort axis. So you say sort by CF age band, and you have to select in the ascending order. This completes the frequency bar measure, and also it is the end of part 1. We'll continue the series in part 2. Stay tuned.